Hey guys.
Alright, folks, I'm sure you're aware of this. Wolfheart has a new album coming out. This is el número uno single, Iku-Turso.
Not
Alright.
much to say.
Fuck, it's brand new Wolfheart.
That's why there's not much to say.
You know, like, what is there to say? Just let's fucking...
Let's just get into this, man.
Let's just get it going. All right, I gotta come clean here. I've heard the song before. I know this. I've heard the song before, at the early stage. I don't even know if I'm authorized to say this or not, but I got
don't.
I got the demo from Thomas when they were working on like this is a while back. Obviously, the album is scheduled to be released, so I got the demo, first stages of the song when they were putting the track together without the guitar solos, without some of the backing vocals. There was a few pieces
They were missing.
but you could already tell like how good the song was. Then I listened to it. I let him. I talked to him again,
feedback.
and then he sent me back like the more finished version with some of the other pieces. But it's nice to hear the song now completely finished, obviously in the context of the music video. Which, by the way, you're watching this on Monday. The video came out on Friday, but we're actually pre-recording this on the Monday before. So fuck all of you. We get to see this before all of you guys.
Yeah.
So one of the perks of being their ice cream dealers.
Exactly.
So
Spaghetti makers, ice cream dealers. We have
whatever.
many names.
Many names. By the way,
I wear many hats.
the last time they played in Toronto, they were on tour with Flesh God Apocalypse, and they had these massive. I don't know if you noticed the antlers, the deer head on the drum kit. They had that as the mic stand for all of them. And from where I was, I cannot confirm or deny this, but from where I was, it looked like Thomas had a really big antler head. Vangelis had like a big one, but not as big. And then and then there was a smaller one. So I'm not sure if
this was in
what this is representing. Someone told me, I think it was Thomas that told me after the show that all of them were actually the same size. Once again, I cannot confirm or deny. From where I was in the balcony, from the angle that I was, it appeared to me that the sizes were not equal amongst all of them. So,
okay.
You know what they say about antler heads? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some are hornier than others. You know, it is what it is.
So, is that what it was? The level of horniness?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
Thomas is one horny motherfucker, though.
Well, based on his new mic stand, I totally agree with that. So, all right.
Damn, I mean, this is Wolfheart. I mean, there's not. I love the one thing I love about this band.
By the way, when I saw them in Toronto, they didn't have an antler head on the drum kit. At least I didn't notice that. So that's definitely an upgrade here.
Yeah,
so.
One more they had to add. He wasn't feeling horny before, but now.
Okay, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
One thing I've always loved about this band is that absolute like killer tone. They have that same thing that Amon Amarth and their other albums had. Certain bands have that shtick that that is them. That is their thing. And
1 second in, you listen to Wolfheart.
Exactly, but it's because of the combination of the drums and the guitars. I
think it's three things.
Well, other than Thomas's vocals.
Oh, because I was going to say that's the third thing. That's the third thing.
But his vocals don't come until like a minute into the song, normally. But I'm saying you'll know it's a Wolfheart track when you hear that combination of the drums and guitar.
The toning on the guitar is very specific.
I haven't heard a band with the same toning. Honest, like I haven't heard a band even come close to a sounding like Wolfheart like this. Like honest, like that. This is them. This is their sound, right? And I'm happy that even though it is their sound and a lot of songs do have that similar thing. The
songs are not the same though.
They don't sound the same. Yeah. They have a similarity yet they don't have that much of a repetition between songs. Like this song doesn't sound like this song song doesn't sound like this song. They all sound like individually.
It's like you cooking with tuna. You can make a bunch of different dishes with the same ingredients. So.
Exactly. In this song I love the parts where Vangelis, the guitars for him, I feel like sometimes they kind of divvy off that Wolfheart DNA tuning. I feel like sometimes like he kind of divvied off from it just a little bit, but I like that. Like it kind of went into its own little thing, but I like that. It kind of brings it brings a new spice into the mixture. You need to have that staple in their songs, but you can also spice it up a little bit with something here, something there. And I feel like this song, for as much as it sounds like Wolfheart, like this is their thing, it still has enough to make it kind of interesting to see where this is leading me. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I really enjoyed it, and the music video was really nice too. Just having those
panels,
yeah, the LED panels.
Yeah, something out of Ancient Aliens.
Is it?
Yeah.
The ancient aliens created...
Or the Unsolved
animals.
Mysteries.
Oh, yes.
When Captain Kirk comes out, he walks through one of those panels, and he talks very methodically, slowly. Yeah, those panels are... You never watched that show?
No.
Okay, I do. So, anyhow, what can I say? Like I said, I already had heard... I heard the progression of this song until the finished product. So it's a little bit more different from me in terms of analyzing it, because I feel like when I'm
do you feel... Here, then let me ask you. Do you feel like this is the culmination of those parts you've heard now?
To me, this is
ultimate
your
culmination.
prototypical Wolfheart song. You know what I mean? If you look at the last two records, they did a lot of changes with the clean vocals, things like that. So
Which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and guest appearances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're a band that, as far as the tuning and the tone of their sound, is always there, regardless of where they go.
They change very little, like album wise. They change very little throughout albums, I've noticed, but it's, even though it's a little change, it makes such a big impact.
What I'm finding is that they do changes, but the changes don't necessarily, and I don't know, because this is the only track that I've heard, so I don't know what the other songs will sound like. But I always feel like whatever they change with an album in mind, not necessarily carrying it over from record to record. Yeah. Every record is an opportunity to do something different.
But the staple sound is
no.
there.
All the records are interconnected by their
DNA sound.
All the records are interconnected by that, but they change other things around it that gives uniqueness to those specific records.
But it's ever so slightly that creates such a big impact.
Yeah, but it's specific but it becomes specific to that record. Yeah. So like when you listen to a song, the beauty of it is twofolded. On one hand, you listen to a song, regardless of what Wolfheart song you're listening to, you know it's Wolfheart.
You know it's Wolfheart.
Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, you know what album it belongs to.
Yeah.
Because it has a certain
vocals, I know it's from the last one.
Yeah, it has a certain characteristic that belongs to that specific record. So all of the albums, all of their discography, every song fits with one another because they all have that same root DNA. But they all fit within their own albums and give their own albums its own characteristics, that when you listen to any song from them, you're like, okay, this is from this album, this is from that album, this is from... Which is, I think it's a great thing.
Honestly, I think it's very... Like, you have to tip the hat to that.
It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy road to navigate.
Oh, especially not only is it not an easy thing to do, it's not an easy thing to continuously do, because people may get really attached to one album and what you changed in that album, but knowing yourself that I'm not going to continue with this, I'm going to continue with what my root has been and just build something else with it. It's kind of like, I know this is what they want, but this is not what I want, and I want to make something that they're going to still want.
I think it's a true sign. Let me just say, this is a true sign of an artist, right?
Oh,
if you look at an architect, for example, you can tell the structures that the architect built have his DNA touch to it.
Yeah.
Like, so you can see, oh, this was built by this architect, and I know that was built, but the buildings are not the same. They don't look the same.
But there's maybe something...
But there's certain things, maybe like the way the windows are designed, or the
water
way
fountain,
or something, or like a key fixture in the architecture that really defines that architectural piece as belonging to that specific person.
Even painters. Picasso, you know it's a Picasso when you see it.
Exactly, or like, you know, any famous painters out there, Van Gogh or whatever, they all, like, every painting is unique to itself, but every painting will have that DNA touch that connects all of the art pieces together back to that same artist who created them. And I think that is, in my humble opinion, that's the ultimate goal. It should be the ultimate goal of any artist, which is to have that DNA that marks who you are, regardless of which record, what era, whatever.
No one can ever mistake your art for someone else's.
But each one offers a slightly different approach or take on that DNA. At least so far throughout their discography, that's been the case.
No, I can never mistake a Wolfheart song for someone else's song.
No.
That's how it is. Like I said, you can't... That's the ultimate compliment, is your art can't be mistaken for anyone else. It's your art.
Now, having said that, this song does not just this song in a vacuum, right? Does not fit the last record as well as it would fit, for example, Constellation. Like, it has more elements perhaps of that album than it does of the last record. I'm just saying. Like, it still doesn't sound like a song that would...
You never know. Maybe
that would be on either one, but if I had to pick one, probably that one more than the latest one.
You never know how the rest of the
album is going. I know. I'm just looking
song,
at the song
yeah.
on
But I think as an album, it's gonna create its own set of DNA where you're just like, okay, well, this is from this.
Yeah.
Right. But like I said, DNA, it's been continuous.
Because, for example, this track, when you look at Breakwater, which is a track from that album, right? There's a lot of similarities in terms of the DNA sound of the song. But in Breakwater, and I'm just using these two songs as a comparison, in Breakwater, there's no symphonic elements the way there are here.
The thing is, yeah, and I wouldn't be able, if you you showed me this song in Breakwater, I could tell you right away they're not from the same album.
Exactly.
They have similarities.
But they're not from the same album. But if you could move this song into a record, I feel like that album would fit this song perhaps slightly better. Now, having said that, this song takes some of those symphonic elements that we saw on the previous record with the sound a little bit more closer to what Constellation offer, like a song like Breakwater. I'm just using that one as an example. So it's a little bit of taking something from that record, something from this record, creating something new, but altogether you could still see the uniqueness of each album, but at the same time you also see the commonalities that their sound has. And I think you said it already. When it comes to Wolfheart music, this song is no different. It's the axis of evil.
Yeah.
It's the trifecta. The drum sound that no other band has. I mean, it's so unique, the drum sound. And it's such a staple for this band.
It's a mixture of... it's not even just it by itself. It's a mixture of that and the guitars. But that's what you're going to get a minute before Thomas even comes in.
But he's the final nail in the coffin.
But you already know before he even comes in, you already know that it's Wolfheart.
1 second you know it's Wolfheart.
You know it's Wolfheart.
But sound-wise, it comes down to not just sound, but the overall essence is really that trifecta. The drums, that no other band sounds like this. Very unique drumming style, very unique sound, and then the way it blends in with that guitar tone that's also unique to them. I can't think of another band that even comes close to that sound, or that has a sound like that. Even in the Finnish landscape, where there's a lot of bands that have similarities, these guys stand on their own.
You could send me like 10 Finnish bands that could be like, okay, this one has some...
Oh, this one sounds a bit like Kalma. Or this one is Children of Bodom. Or whatever,
yes. You know? But like, I feel like it's going to take at least out of 1,000 bands, maybe one I'll be like, okay, there's like hints of Wolfheart.
Funny enough,
it's hard to replicate.
When we're listening to Finnish bands on the channel, and we're like, man, I see some, like a new band that we're finding out. I see some Common here, or some Children of Bodom.
We've never said
some Insomnium, some Winter Sun.
I don't think we've ever said.
The only band I remember that we've ever compared to these guys are, I don't think they're around anymore. Maybe I know they broke up, or they went on a hiatus or something. I don't know if they're coming back again. And that was Perpetual Night from Spain. They're the only band that I ever remember us checking out a video of them, a song of them on the channel, and saying, holy shit, this reminds me of Wolfheart.
Okay, now I remember, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're probably the only one. And not that the tuning was similar to theirs, not that the drums sounded the same, but in terms of how they constructed their songs with that winter atmosphere to the sound, that was the similarity.
But even then, it's not
the sound that was similar. It was the atmosphere that it created that was similar. That's the only one I can remember. Nobody else comes close, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Great track.
Great track.
All right, we're off to a good start as far as this new record is concerned. So
yeah.
Not that I had any doubt.
Of course. Come on.
It's Wolfheart.
It's gonna perfectionist. It's gonna...
It is. I mean, man, imagine his brain. Like, Thomas' brain must have all these different compartments for all the bands and all the projects that he works on.
I don't even know, man.
Like, I just, like he wakes up in the morning, picks up a guitar while he's eating an ice cream, and he's riffing. He's like, this is a Dawn of Solace riff.
Like, he sits monk...
And he puts it away.
Like, I see this guy sits monk style inside of the sauna, like, meditating and shit. He's like, I have an idea, and then gets out, brings his guitar into the sauna, starts playing shit. Like, I don't want to imagine what goes on in his daily life. It's probably like the most magical thing in the world.
I don't think he when he opens his eyes, he doesn't see the world the way we see the world. He sees the world
in
music notes.
Yeah,
musical notes moving around. Like, he looks at a tree and there's a musical note flowing through the tree, and I think that's how he sees the world. One of the most, like, artistic minds out there. Very underrated, in my opinion.
Musically gifted, like,
very underrated, in my humble opinion. This guy, doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
Honest.
That's for sure. Not just because he's my friend, but really he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Anyhow, he gets it from us.
Definitely,
but I think he deserves way more credit than what he gets. Thomas for president. All right. On that note, anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're good.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Go check out their social media. Find out exactly when the album comes out. Pre-order that shit. And I hope to see them back in North America very soon on another tour. They need to come at least once a year. Twice a year would be perfect. Another Canadian headlining tour next summer would be outstanding.
Yeah.
Maybe with Dawn of Solace do a double feature. That would be like...
Thomas would be like tired.
No, because he sings in one, plays guitar, the other one he does drums, so he gets a little bit of a break.
You're right about that.
You know, so it's not like he has to blow his voice or whatever.
That's true.
Anyhow, on that
You're
note,
still acting like doing the voice and stuff, and then doing drums is like it's still
different needs though.
It's his workout though.
I know, like it's better than you singing 2 sets, right?
That's true.
So, all right, we'll see you guys at the next video.
See ya.